Time ago, I was spending my rains at Wat Buddha Dhamma in Weisman's Ferry. I was with Ajahn Kemawaro. And normally in the Thai tradition, a junior monk is not allowed to talk like this, only on a special occasion. So at the end of the rains retreat, he told all the monks, okay, I will give you a chance to talk, so you come up with good topics to talk at the end of the rains. And there was a big gathering like this, even bigger. So there was this monk. He has spent some time, he's more senior to me, but he has never talked. He was a popular monk. Everybody was looking forward to him talking because he was a popular monk. He was very good with people, but he has never given a formal talk about Dhamma. So the time came for him to speak, and the first thing he told, he was quoting from Ajahn Brahm. He told, because people were expecting a lot of things out of him, he told, if you want to be happy, lower your expectations. Okay, the same thing goes to you all. Don't expect me to give you something out of the extraordinary. So my topic is today, if you want to be happy, you lower your expectations. Who said this? There's somebody who told this before Ajahn Brahm. Who? No. Even before. The Buddha told this. Okay. So I will explain how he told this. Before going to the story, I have to explain who Venerable Anuruddha is. Do you know who Venerable Anuruddha? He's a major figure in Buddhism. He belongs to the Sakyan clan. He is cousin of Lord Buddha. He is the half brother of Venerable Ananda. They all were brought up in a very luxurious way. They never knew what dukkha in this life was. Even Venerable Anuruddha had the same type of castles, palaces for all the seasons. So when Buddha visited Kapilavastu after his enlightenment, most of the Sakyan, every family gave one each to the order. So, but Venerable Anuruddha's father was King Amitodana, who was the brother of King Suddhodana, Buddha's father's brother's son. That's how the relation goes. So he was living in luxury. He has never heard the word called nothing, because everything was there for him. One time he was in the book, in the Tripitaka, it is said when he was playing marbles. I don't know what marbles is. Maybe something like hopscotch. Okay, he was playing marbles with his friends. He bet on cakes. So when he lost the game, he asked to bring cakes from the palace. So 3 times he was given cakes, but the 4th time his mother sent him an empty plate, saying that there is no cake. Since he has not heard the word no, he thought this is another type of a cake. So he sent back the messenger to ask, tell my mother to bring me some. Okay, then get me some no cakes. So then the mother sent another empty platter to give him a lesson that there's certain things called nothingness in this world. If you are run out of, when I was small, if we are out of food, we are out of food. Yeah. When I asked mother, is there any chicken left? He said, no. That's it. So we don't, ask, no, I want. We won't be sending messengers asking our parents for some more. So this is the way he lived in luxury. So when it's about the time that everybody was asked to join the order, from his family he was asked by his brother, Prince Mahanama, okay, brother, you go into the order. He said, no, I am a delicate being. I cannot go into homelessness. I cannot do this. I prefer to stay in the palace. Then Prince Mahanama told him, if you are going to be in the palace, there will be a lot of work. Then he asked, what kind of work? You have to irrigate the fields, you have to cultivate the fields, you have to make sure that all your People in the kingdom should be fed properly. Then not Venerable Anuruddha, then Anuruddha was puzzled and he asked, when will this work stop? Then Prince Mahananda, there's no ending to this work. Our forefathers, our grandfathers did this. I should do this. You should do this if you are going to stay here. And this work will never end. So there's no ending to our work. Then he realized, okay, he didn't want a life like that, to work endlessly. He decided to go into homelessness and he renounced to become a monk. Because of his upbringing, he found it a bit difficult in his early monkhood to attain certain stages of enlightenment. So he was struggling because he comes from a luxurious background, and going into the forest, he didn't quite cope with the situation. So one day he was in the forest, he got these 7 thoughts coming to him. In the Tipitaka, these 7 thoughts are named as the 7 great thoughts of a man. In Bhikkhu Bodhi's translation, it goes as 7 thoughts of a great man. But in the Pali, if I take directly from the canon, it says Maha Purusa Vitakka. Now Maha means great. Purusa means man. Purusa. Vitakka means thought. 8 thoughts of a great man. So I am going to teach you about those 8 thoughts of a great man, because I want you to be great in a way, but you should understand these set of thoughts are based on a spiritual life. These teachings will not give you any thoughts about how to invest in the stock market or buy property or how to be successful at college or university. Buddha had a lot of teachings like that for lay people. They also worked very well, but most of the people who came to Buddha, they were more inclined towards realizing something other than their worldly everyday life. So his teachings are mostly bent towards enlightenment. So that's why he gave these teachings. So you should understand, if you are a spiritual person, if you want to live a spiritual life, you should be bearing thoughts like this. So when Venerable Anuruddha was living in seclusion, what is the first thought that came to his mind? Does anybody know this? He thought this Dhamma is for the person who finds happiness in few things. This Dhamma is not for the person who wants more. When you say find happiness in few things, what does it mean? Easily satisfied. Frugal. You don't need much to survive. You live basically merely on the things that are enough. So does it mean that Dhamma is not for the person who has more? Yeah. Yes. So here you have to understand, if you want to really practice Dhamma, it's better you have little things in your plate. People always say, no, when you call somebody, can you come to this? I'm sorry, I have a lot of things to deal in my plate. I cannot make it today. I will come on another day. So when you have a lot of things, you have a lot of physical burden to carry, it's difficult for you to tread in the path. When I was in a certain monastery, there was a friend of mine who was a young monk. He was given the post of, okay, you be the store monk. You take care of the store. So he was a very frugal monk. He only survived there one day. The next morning he came to an Ajahn and said, Ajahn, I cannot work in the store. It's in Australian words, it's like the Woolworths. I cannot work there. The store has a lot of things. I cannot work in a department store, he told. I was there. Then Ajahn took him aside and he explained, It's not about the things that are inside. Buddha gave a similar teaching. Although we say we have cars, we have objects, we have televisions, we have everything around us, but our attachment doesn't depend on the object. Of course, you make an attachment to the object, but our mind is the thing that creates an attachment to these things. So Buddha has a nice gatha, which I don't have the gatha in Pali at the moment. He says, our objects are not external. Our objects are all internal mind formations. When you see all these things, you get craving and attachment. So it's a Dhamma. If you want to treat on the path, it's better you find happiness with little things. Do you understand the point here? Last time I was in Sri Lanka before coming to Australia, I went to a monk's kuti. It was a big kuti, and there was lot of things inside that house. Then I was not aware this was a kuti at all. I went to another monk and asked, why you have given the Ajahn a storeroom as a kuti? You should give him a kuti. No, they say that's his kuti. He, hoard everything, wanted and unwanted stuff. So you should understand, to be successful, if you want to really let go, you should make a distinction between what you want and what you need. Everybody asks, Bhante, you tell us to let go, let go, let go. How can we practice letting go in a daily basis? How can we practice letting go in our day-to-day life? I'm talking about letting go from the physical point of view. How to let go material things. Mental things you cannot unless you meditate. So you have to find a clear distinction between what you want and what you need. Do you have to have 2 televisions at home? Of course, if the mother and his son is fighting all the time for matches and football, somebody wants to watch that MasterChef Australia, and boys are not interested, they want to watch footy or something like that. 2 televisions are better than conflict. But you have to identify whether you really want this. If you have too much, then it's very difficult to let go. Too much work. I see even girls. Last time during my talk, there was I had a little bit of negative points coming from the ladies' side. Yeah. Then I told the people who has gathered here, okay, I will find something negative about men also. Then on the way, I was thinking of turning the Tipitaka, and I realized during that gathering, there were no men at all in that temple. So, you don't have to find fault in men. They were not there in the monastery at all. That's their weakness. So, you understand? Because women were there, Visakha went and found out what's wrong with them. But Visakha couldn't find any man coming to the monastery to observe Uposatha. So I don't have to find anything. You take that as a weakness from the male side. So when you are going shopping, people go shopping and they try to save money, not because they are frugal, because they don't have money. But if they have enough money, I'm quite sure they will buy enough. Yeah, I see girls buying a lot of, because before coming to the girls' point of thing, I thought I should point the negative remark on the man's side. So that's why I told the story. That is the first great thought of a great man. I would like to know what you personally think about this. Being frugal, being easily satisfied, unburdened. Yeah, Buddha says yata ladda santuttita in Pali. Yata ladda santuttita means be happy with what you have. People are always worried about the things that they don't have, but they are not happy with what they have. So come and you understand the situation. And please understand, with lot of things, it's very difficult. So don't go home and throw everything away. My other Nayaka Hamduro, the head monk in our Dhammasarana temple, he gave speech one time. And on the way back, we came to the temple, we got a call that the girl at the home are throwing everything away. All his graduate certificates and the ornaments. The monk said, you have to let go. And the other monk, who is from California, he's from the Crenshaw Meditation Center, that monk gave a talk saying that you have to let go. And that American lady took all her clothes out. So, those don't do that kind of things. Understand what you need and what you don't want. You throw it away. The second great thought of a man is this Dhamma is for the happy one, is one for the contented, and not for the sad, right? Or not for the discontented. Lot of people, especially when they come to a monastery, they come with sadness. When they look at Dhamma, when they are mostly while they are going through something sad in their lives. So they come to the monastery and they always come with a problem. Not always. Most of the time people come and say, Bhante, I am here because of this reason. I'm not doing fine these days. The economy is not going well. My child is not doing good. So like that. From the day we are born up to now, we have been looking for something. What is that? Happiness. Have you found? Not yet, no? But are we looking forward to finding that? Yes. Yeah, we are very much looking forward to find out what happiness is. But have we really found the place where dukkha lies? To find happiness, we have to find the cause of happiness. And to find the cause of happiness, we have to look at the points where does our unhappiness lies. Okay? So when Buddha came into this world, he only comes for this purpose, to give a teaching on how to get rid of your suffering. But nowadays, people, when they come, I or anybody gives a talk, they have all other types of questions. One monk in Sri Lanka puts it in this way. A doctor comes, their doctor is doing a ward round in the morning, and during his ward round, a patient asks, Doctor, how many miles do you think it's from Earth to Moon? Now, the doctor is trying to save the patient. Okay? But the patient is asking, Doctor, how many miles do you think? These things happen. From my experience, because people ask, the other day, a man was asking me, Bhante, Buddha got married at the age of 17. Why do you think he got a child at the age of 29? Now, am I supposed to say? Why? Buddha got married at the age of 17 and he got a child at 29. So, how can I go into his family affairs and say this might be the reason, this family planning must be the reason? So, these things are irrelevant. Okay, these things are very irrelevant. But we have to find where, before finding happiness, we have to realize where unhappiness lies. So, I would like to give a deep teaching when Buddha says, because Buddha directly say, unless you really penetrate into dukkha, you will never realize Dhamma. Without realizing the without penetrating into the Four Noble Truths, you will never realize Dhamma. So if somebody is trying to avoid the suffering factor in life, he can never realize the happiness factor. Last time I was giving the 6 internal bases. Can you come up? The first place where we get stuck, the I. Okay, I'm expecting from the people who were there for this. Six sense bases, the Jasu Ajjatika Ayatanesu in Pali. I don't have any other language, English and Pali. Maybe in Sinhala I can say. But the eyes, the ear, the nose, the tongue, your feelings, the what do you call that? Tactile sensations, and your mind. These 6 places, when they receive objects from, what are the 6 external objects corresponding with these internal 6 bases? Sight, visual objects, sound as auditory object, smell as olfactory object, taste, touch, any sensual pleasure, and all your thought patterns. When these 2 things meet, what happens? You get feelings. You get Vedana, Vedana. With this Vedana, what happens? Maybe we can call it the perception, but we don't stay at the point of perception. We start having attachment towards that perception. Okay. Can we stop our eye? Okay. Say, okay, somebody can say, okay, Bhante said our internal bases are the cause. Okay, you close your eyes and live all your life. Will that work? Okay, can you stop the external objects? Then what's the thing that we can work with? The mind. The mind creations. How we are going to stop this? When they arise, you look at them. Letting go will come later. So, each and every object, we see a lot of, if I look at each one of you, I will get each and different kind of perception. But can I do it like this? No, that's where meditation comes. You sit down and look at momentarily objects that is coming to your mind. This is called vipassana. We cannot control our eye, we cannot control our external objects, but we can control their combination, the vijnana, the mind, perception. So this is the place where Buddha tells where the dukkha lies. Dukkha, Buddha explains clearly in Abhidhamma, there are 60 places where your dukkha might be. 60 places in the sense, we already know there are 6 bases, 6 external objects, 6 perceptions, 6 cravings, like that it goes up to vitakka vichara, where you will be delighting in objects, feelings and everything else. Do you understand my point? How we create dukkha for ourselves? So, does dukkha exist anywhere other than ourselves? Are you sure? Are you 100% sure that dukkha is not there other than ourselves? Yes, yeah. Of course, you might be crying with somebody else when you are crying together, but still it's you who you are crying. So this is something where you should sit down and understand. I cannot feed this into you unless you realize yourself. Try to think when you are sitting down, where does our unsatisfactory, why we are not happy, and where does our sadness begin? So Buddha comes to the very, very, very subtle point from our basis. He said, in these 60 points, there lies dukkha. And how does it lie? How does, in these 60 points lies your craving, not dukkha. I'm sorry, I have to make a correction there. In these 60 places lies your craving. Because of your craving, you will ultimately suffer. That's his teaching. Are you okay with that? I'm not asking whether you are okay with suffering. I'm asking whether you're okay. I'm asking whether you are okay with the teaching. Are you clearly understood, yeah? How you create suffering for yourself through craving? So when Anuruddha thought about this Dhamma is for the person who is happy, he was implying how to find true happiness. So that is a great thought. Okay, we always come to the temple and we always sit down to listen to Dhamma. Because we are still afraid of samsara, isn't it? We are still afraid of death. We are still afraid of dying. We are still afraid of getting sick. We are still afraid of all the calamities in our lives because we are not properly thorough. We don't have a thorough training in how to face these difficulties. If you are well trained, if you are well prepared for that, that means you are enlightened in a certain way. So unless that's why you all are here, to learn something and face everyday difficulties. Okay, can we go into our third thought of a great man? Anuruddha was thinking, the third one is, this Dhamma is for the person who loves solitude, not for the person who likes to socialize. Okay, solitude is very important when it comes to realizing Dhamma. How many kinds of solitude do you know? You know only one type of solitude, yeah? You go to a monastery, you go to a retreat, and you just go away from places, and when we are going through certain problems, we ask other people to, okay, you leave me alone, I want some time for myself. Buddha has Buddha has one teaching about solitude, but this comes in 4 suttas. All these 4 suttas come in the Majjhima Nikaya, middle-length discourses of the Buddha. They all go under the name Baddeka Ratta Sutta. Baddeka means, Baddha means, what is Baddha? Baddha means good. But in Pali, you say joyful youth means Baddha Yavana. So Baddha means good. Eka Ratna means, Eka means one. Ratta means living alone. What is the goodness of solitude? Baddeka Ratta Sutta. So in this sutta, there was a monk living in a monastery. He was always alone. He never socialized, and he never socialized with other monks. So this went as a complaint to Buddha. Even in a monastery, when we see a monk who's not much socializing, we really think there's something wrong going with that monk, because they never talk, they never come and share ideas, thoughts. But it's good in a way. But Buddha asked that monk to come, and he asked the monk, what kind of a solitude do you practice? Then he told the Buddha, my solitude is that I go on arms round alone, I read alone, I sit alone, I do everything alone. I don't want to be with people. The name of that monk was Thera. If you want to look up in the Tipitaka, his name was Thera. Then Buddha tells, okay, that is also good, but that is not the ultimate teaching that I will give as solitude. Buddha explains what real solitude is. Now try to understand. Buddha has 3 kinds of solitude. One is physical solitude. You understand the physical solitude? That we be alone, we do everything physically, but it doesn't mean that we are mentally alone. Buddha gives a nice teaching. He says, Tanha Dutiyo Puriso. You will be always accompanied by somebody else wherever you go. Who's this person? Of course, a man has a mind. Mind will always be there, but he is not following you. He is there within you, the mind. The craving will follow you wherever you go. So whether you go to a forest, whether you go to anywhere, there is no, even if you go to the moon, without anybody, you will be having cravings for something. So Buddha tells, there's no point in going to the forest. A lot of monks, even they go to the forest thinking that, okay, I'm going to be a solitary monk. But when it comes to think about it, I have myself done that, and I have failed in that. I told you about my experiences at a forest. I stayed in a forest for 3 months. By the last month, I had a mantra going in my head of Sri Lankan food. Yeah. Okay. Honestly, this is the teaching that it gave me. The more you are forcefully kept away from the things that you like, the more you get attached to them. Okay. A lady came to me and said, Bhante, me and my daughter, we are not doing that good. But when I took a flight to Sri Lanka, I was crying all the way because I couldn't leave her. So when you are leaving something, when you are letting go something, the more it comes to you, because it's a very much part of you that you have never realized, in a way that we should keep these things away. Do you understand my point? Yes. So we were talking about the mental solitude and the physical solitude. No, we were talking about the physical solitude. Now the Buddha is going to teach the mental solitude. Buddha is teaching the ideal solitude would be that you will not have any attachment to your past. You will have no expectation towards your future. The moment, this present moment aware itself is the real solitude. This is the teaching that comes in Bhante Sutta. All 4 Bhante Suttas are teaching like this. I am quoting from the Mahakachayana Bhante Sutta about the teaching given to Thera. So, ideal solitude of a person is that you are aware in the present moment, that you are not attached to your past, or you are not expecting something that you have not seen, that you have not created so far. You are expecting something to happen in the future. Then a third type of solitude is called upadi viveka. This is the Pali term. Upadi means you are free from hindrances. You are free from impediments. In a worldly way, Buddha is implying you are free from calamities, you are free from external problems. But in a deeper meaning, Buddha is explaining we should be free from 5 things. What is that? The 5 clinging aggregates. Does everybody know what 5 clinging aggregates are? The very basics of Buddhism. Pancha Upadana Skandha. As long as this Pancha Upadana Skandha is with you, will you really find solitude in samsara? No. People want to go to heaven. You go to heaven, you become a god, and what do you have? The 5 clinging aggregates. Yeah, God, even gods, they have the Panchupadana Skandha. You become a Brahma, and what do you have? Panchupadana Skandha. You go to hell, what do you have? The Panchupadana Skandha. To be, that's why we have a meditation object called Sabba Loke Anabhirata Sanya. People, most of us, we think, okay, going to heaven is fun. Going to Brahma world is fun. But when you go there, that's another world. Okay, we always try to, okay, comparatively it's less worrying, less dukkha, but still as long as you bear these 5 clinging aggregates, you will never find happiness. That's why Buddha says it's like people go to Thailand, Bali, they carry and come back to Australia, and it's like, Buddha went, even monks, they still go to all these planes through meditation, and he asked, can you really find happiness in those planes? No. So that's why when you are born as a human being, try to get rid of your 5 clinging aggregates. Yes, please.
How about friends who are very sociable? Does that mean that they cannot learn Dharma because they may not understand solitude or what?
Yeah, what do you mean by...
Because you mentioned that Dharma is for the person who is able to be comfortable with solitude or silence.
Yeah. Now, that's why I am giving you to choose what kind of solitude you prefer. Okay, you can physically be alone. But when you are physically alone, when you go through your mind, you have to understand whether I am alone at all. I go to the forest, I was not alone. My thoughts were with my mother. My thoughts were with all the food that I am missing. My thoughts were with the Facebook. No, it's not. That's not true solitude. Okay, so having a friend is no problem.
In a friend who is sociable, you want
Yeah.
to bring them into the Dhamma.
Yeah, so you are, but of course you can talk to a friend, but you have to understand how perceivable is that friend is. You cannot approach a club going friend and say, okay, I sat down for 2 meditation talks, okay, you come and listen. He will never realize that. But there's a way you approach to him and say, you need to get out of your lifestyle and commit some time for Dhamma as well. But if you are a Buddha, what Buddha is saying here is, if you find seclusion, if you find being alone happy, that will benefit you in your path. This is not a requirement. This is a great thought only. This is a great thought. This is not a must. For people who are changing their surroundings to a level that they have enough space and solitude, it's easy for their practice. Okay? So when you are selecting friends, be careful. Okay? So that was our third one, yeah? So does everybody understand what true solitude is? What is the true solitude? The solitude of your mind, leading to the solitude of the 5 clinging aggregates. To reach these 2 levels, what should you have? The physical solitude. That's why you go to the monastery. You have time for yourself doing meditation. Isn't that a great thought? Yeah. Why you are silent? Huh? Okay. I cannot make it any greater, So, the fourth one is, this Dhamma is for the energetic. Yeah, she said it's true, yeah? But you were late the other day. You didn't come to my talk at all, yeah? So, it's not about, yeah. So, Venerable Anuruddha was, why he's thinking all these things? Because he was living in a different world. Even in the forest, he was thinking about his luxury world. So when Buddha saw this, he was thinking something worthwhile. That's why Buddha came and established these 7 thoughts as 7 thoughts of a great man. So we have to realize these thoughts as a very much part of our spiritual path. So when you say this Dhamma is for the energetic, this is a very important point. Buddha has 37 major teachings that will lead to enlightenment. Everybody knows this. What do you call these 37 teachings? 37 factors of enlightenment. In Pali, it's called Sattis Bodhipakya Dhamma. Out of this 37, effort comes in 9 places. So Buddha has given effort 9 places out of those 37. No other factor repeats again into that kind of amount 9 times. Unless you have effort, you will never realize anything. What do you normally say? No pain, no gain. But when I was young, I told my mother, no pain, no pain. Okay? Okay? But it doesn't work that way. I realized long after, if you want to live a painless life, you have to go through some pain. But it doesn't mean you harshly go through some pain. That's why the one purpose I am in Australia now, because I was going through a lot in Myanmar. And I thought, why should I give myself a lot of dukkha to get rid of dukkha? Life was hectic. So that's why I thought, okay, maybe I go to Sri Lanka because there's enough support. I go to Australia, there's enough support. I will get enough food and I can comfortably meditate. That's one reason. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go through a lot of suffering to get rid of suffering. But you have to put the right effort. Where does right effort come in? Eightfold Noble Path. What do you call that? Samma Vayama. Okay. Now does everybody know what Samma Vayama is? Everybody knows the titles, the topics, the pages, the numbers, but when you ask, they are kind of lost. Okay, what is we call this Satara Samappadana. What is the first right effort? Sorry? Yes, we'll put it this way that everybody can remember. Effort through control. Easy to remember. What are we controlling? Yes. You crave through what? Not the mind is the sixth one, but there are 5 more before that. We just talked about it. Sense organs. You control, you restrain your sense organs, which will give arising to unwholesome thoughts and deeds. Okay? Controlling through? Effort through? Control. Everybody can remember that. So you don't have to go through a long sentence, this is right effort, because in the sentence it has a bigger meaning, Second one is effort through abandoning, dropping, letting go. What are you trying to let go here now? What are you trying to quit? Defilements. Okay, what are the things that are going to defile us? Again, anything that comes from your 6 internal bases by meeting with external objects, you defile yourself. So when they arise, if you cannot put an effort to control them, now this defilement is there because you failed to control it in the first place. Now we are talking about effort through abandoning. You drop them. Okay? You identify your weakness inside you, and now you make an effort to let go of that. You understand? What is the third effort? Effort through meditation. Effort through cultivation. This is the place, this is the most important effort that you have to put, because meditation, the word meditation itself implies on this. You always bring up the goodness in you. You always try to find what is good, and you cultivate all the good things. Do you understand me? What is the first one? Effort through control, effort through abandoning, letting go, dropping, quitting, whatever the name. What is the third one? Meditation. Effort through cultivation. The fourth samappadana, the effort through maintenance. What are we maintaining? Okay, it's good if you can maintain your good thoughts all the time. Yeah. People come up with good ideas, but whatever it is, you should maintain whatever good you have done through the effort that we took another 3 efforts before, to drop the bad ones, to cultivate the good ones, and to maintain, to develop through meditation. And maintaining, we maintain all the good things that we have done. I was giving a talk last Sunday evening after I left here, and they said, Bhante, one gentleman came, and he invited me yesterday. Then he told, Bhante, after your talk, I was very good for 3 days. After that, I forgot everything. Yeah. So this is what happens. You should not be forgetting, you should not be dropping your good qualities. What good things you have learned here, you should be practicing throughout. Well, you don't come to BSV and sit down for 1 hour and you learn something and you forget it after dana. I see people forgetting a lot of things during dana time itself. Yes? So you should not forget, you should maintain it. Easy way to remember the 4 right efforts. Okay, now we will go to the 5th thought. Dhamma is for one with well-established mindfulness. This Dhamma is for the person who has good mindfulness. Do you think so? Yeah? Unless we don't have mindfulness, nothing works out. Now this is also a part of the Eightfold Noble Path. Before going to mindfulness, I would like to go back to the Bhante Sutta, which I told you, the true mental solitude. When Buddha say, without having an attachment to the past, what is wrong with that? No, in a deeper level, what is wrong with attaching to our past? Where does the object lie? No, in the past. Yeah, the object is in the past, but the present moment, the mind is a present moment thing. You touch something in the past from your present moment mind. Don't you think that's something ignorant? That's something wrong? Huh? Something present moment awareness, you touch something in the past. You cannot do that. This is this is the thing that you have to understand. Never ever waste your present moment good chitta to hold something in the past. You cannot do that. This is the ignorance. That's why we go wrong. So again, when it comes to mindfulness, what is the right mindfulness as explained by Buddha? Not the full mind, yeah. Because Eckhart Tolle, does everybody know Eckhart Tolle? He doesn't agree with the term mindfulness. Why he doesn't agree with the mindfulness? Because a lot of Westerners think it's something, you fill your mind. Mindful. But we are trying to be mindfulness on a particular object. In Buddhism, we have to be mindfulness about our body. This is Samma. We are talking about Samma Sati. Samma Sati is explained by we being Kaye Kayanu Passi Viharati. You be mindful of your body. What do you mean by you be mindful of your body? Not to put mascara or, You go out, you tell your husband, wait, I have to be mindful about my body. I go to the mirror and put a makeup on. No harm, okay, don't take wrong. I have nothing against that. But when you are doing that, you understand the process, okay? When you cry, you will be ugly, okay? That's the teaching, When you put the makeup on, you cannot go out in the rain, or if you cry, you will look ugly. So with that understanding, you put makeup, that's good. But Buddha is trying to give a teaching, look at your body as it is. Is this body really worth the way you are thinking about it? If you put this, if you go inside the body, it's just the 32 organs, nothing much, nothing more. So there's nothing you can get attached to this body. One time I told this story. One time a monk was asking, please, excuse me, I need to relax my legs. Difficult. So, do we have time? Yeah. We have how many minutes? Half an hour more? Oh, okay. So, where was I? About the body. Yeah, a monk in Milinda Panya, the king Milinda, he was a Greek king. He asked another monk called Nagasena, Bhante, you tell about the foulness of the body. Then why monks pay so much attention to your body? Then he explains, not him, even Buddha explains, we take care of this body because we have 9 openings. We have 9 openings in our body that will give out so much dirt, so much impurities. If we don't keep our bodies, if we don't pamper ourselves, we are no different to a septic tank. We don't feel that because every morning we go to the bathroom, we wash our faces, we do our ambulatory, and we do things like that. Okay, try staying without taking a shower for 2 weeks. You don't have to wait for 2 weeks, but you will get disgusted, yeah? Don't you think? Yeah. So some people, I don't know whether this is appropriate, but you have to show, no, yeah, the morning breath, can you stand it? It's very difficult. I don't know, only the married people would know. I So that's why we have to take care of our body. So there's nothing wrong in using air freshener in your mouth or something like that. There's nothing wrong in it. But You have to look at the true nature of your body. This is called the right mindfulness. What is the second type of right mindfulness? Kaya kayanupassī viharati. What is the Vedananupassana? You be fully aware of your sensations. When you say sensations, what is Buddha implying here? Yes, what you like and what you don't like, and why you like and why you don't like them also. If I'm not liking a certain type of feeling, certain type of stimuli, why I don't like this? What is the reason behind this? Where does it come from? Where does it root itself? Not only your likings and dislikings, you have to find the cause for it through meditation. That's the purpose of being mindful. Sensations, does everybody understand the sensations? Vedana comes after the 6 internal objects meeting the external object and making the Vedana. Vedana can be 3 types: the happy, the sad, neutral. Yeah, you have to contemplate on all these 3 places when you are doing meditation. And the third one, Chittanupassana. You contemplate on your thoughts. Can you do that? Can you maintain good Chittanupassana? Whatever you are trying to do, can you look at your Chitta and contemplate on that? It's a very successful meditation method in the Western world. There's a good master in Myanmar called Sayadaw U Tejaniya. U Tejaniya is the master for Chittanupassana. So a lot of Vietnamese, American, all over the world people. Yeah. He spent 1 was at Bodhinyana also in Perth. U Tejaniya is the master for Chittanupassana. And his master is one good student of Mahasi Sayadaw, Shwe Umin Sayadaw. So if you can do Chittanupassana, you will live a happy life, because you always reflect. Before you do something, you reflect on your thoughts. Even before getting angry, you get to know you are angry. Can you do that? But the weakness in that is doing the 4 foundations of mindfulness cannot be practiced one by one. It's ideal if you practice all together at once. So when Sayadaw U Tejaniya more implies on Chittanupassana alone, it can take you a long way in meditation. People are happy, people are willing to do that. But there will be a certain point where you will get stuck. Then you have to turn at the other points of mindfulness as well. Does everybody understand when I say be mindful about your thoughts? And if you are not clear, this is the time you have to clear out your doubts. Because this is not a meditation retreat. If it was a meditation retreat, we should have gone into deeper concepts of the 4 foundations of mindfulness. I'm just touching up the topics. So you have to be mindful about your thoughts as well. Dhammanupassana. Mental formations. You have to be mindful of what you are creating inside yourselves. When you are daydreaming, you have to be mindful about what you are daydreaming. Then you realize that you are daydreaming. Then what will happen to the daydreaming? It will stop. It eventually stop. Then you will come to your present moment awareness. Why did the other question? Can you please answer this question for me? Keeping mindfulness on your body, on your feelings, on your thoughts, and in your mind formations, your Dhammanupassana, why you have to keep your mind on these 4 objects? Why do you think? Buddha should have given other objects.
It's operating all the time.
Okay. Not a good answer, but okay, acceptable. What all?
We identify ourselves, the me, my, and myself because of that.
Yes, that's the answer that I was expecting. our Sakkaya Ditti is rooted in these 4 places. Do you understand now? If we have anything called me, myself, this is mine, this is my ego, this thought is rooted in these 4 places. So if you want to dissolve your Sakkaya Ditti, if you want to dissolve your wrong view of yourself, you have to meditate on these 4 things. And that is the first milestone of your path to enlightenment. Getting rid of Sakkaya Ditti is what? Sotapanna. That's why this is heavily emphasized, heavily enforced in Buddhism to have, to do the 4 foundations of mindfulness because of this reason. Where does our wrong view lies now? On these 4 places. Okay, then Anuruddha thinks, and now he was thinking this Dhamma is only for the mindfulness, not for the person who has no mindfulness. Another thought came to him. He thought this Dhamma is for the person who has right concentration. Do you see a link between all these thoughts now? Can you explain the link? First, one should be happy with few things. Then he should be a happy person also. Third thing, he should enjoy solitude and silence. With that silence, what is he doing? He is being mindful. And with his mindfulness, what is he achieving? Good concentration. Now, do you see the link? With this link, do you think you should be like this? You cannot fulfill this link if you are not having these thoughts within you. Okay? Now, we have come to the 6th one, yeah? Yeah. So, what is right concentration? As explained by Buddha, what is right concentration? As explained in the Eightfold Noble Path. Does anyone know?
The last part, is it the mindfulness and concentration?
Yeah. No, last 3 is right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. This is the last 3 limbs of Eightfold Noble Path. What I'm asking is, okay, right effort, we have given the meanings, we have studied the 4 right efforts, and we know what right mindfulness is now. Now I am asking, do you know what does it mean by right concentration? One-pointedness. Okay. But does one-pointedness come like this? No. What does one-pointedness come from? Right mindfulness. Okay. But there are 4 types of one-pointedness. One-pointedness. How do you say that? One-pointedness. Okay. There are 4 ways. The first one is the first jhana. The second one is the second jhana. The third one is the third jhana. 4th one is the 4th jhana. So when Buddha is explaining, when somebody is having right concentration, unless you don't have these 4 jhanas, you are not having a proper concentration. This is the ultimate way to have right concentration. This jhana has 5 jhana qualities: vitakka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekaggata. Vitakka, vichara goes as applied thought, concentrated thought. Vitakka, vichara, piti, sukha is happy, sukha is bliss. Ekaggata means one-pointedness. Upekkha means equanimity. So unless you don't have the previous 5 qualities in you, it's very difficult to reach a jhanic experience. So unless you don't have all these thoughts together, it's very difficult to tread on the path. So if somebody is saying with many things, without solitude, with an unhappy mind, you simply cannot do this. Try to take the lesson here. Any question how to attain jhana? Okay, effort is there. We talked about the effort. Effort will definitely, it will definitely help. That's why we practice samatha meditation. In vipassana meditation, we also have good concentration, but it's a momentarily concentration. We call it the kanika samadhi. It is not going to be there for a long time. That's why it's heavily emphasized by Lord Buddha to have right concentration before going into vipassana meditation. When you have deep concentration, it's very easy to see the internal objects and dissolve them. You understand? So attaining jhana can be easily done through which meditation method? Samatha, yeah. But give me a meditation object. Breath, anapanasati, is the ideal meditation object to attain jhana. Everybody knows, no? Everybody knows how to do anapanasati. That's why you all are in a jhanic state now. So that's very good. Please practice. Yeah, when you go home, take 10 minutes out of your time, but you can take 10 minutes out of your day. When you are taking your 10 minutes, please try to understand whether you have fulfilled this eightfold criteria that I am telling you right now. Whether you have fulfilled the 8 great thoughts of a great person. How frugal I am, how happy I am to be in this Dhamma, what else? Whether I am putting the right effort, whether I have the true mindfulness. You have to reflect on these things. Do you understand the concept of right concentration now? Yeah. I want to say something about... And the most importantly, when you are in a jhanic state, you will not have what in your thoughts? Defilements. You will not have the 5 hindrances within you. Yes? What are the 5 hindrances? Restlessness. Sloth and torpor. Doubt and laziness. Sloth and torpor is laziness. Yeah. Does anybody know the Pali terms? Kama chanda vyapada tīna midda uddacca kukucca vichikicha. When you're on an absorption level, you will not have these things in your mind. So the Mahasi Sayadaw explains. Forget about the jhana. Mahasi Sayadaw explains. Listen to me carefully. If you can have a mental noting 1 second at a time, you're noting. You're noting everything. You're noting your feelings, you're noting your sensation, you're noting your breath. But you're not attached to that noting. You identify that note as a note. How many notings have you taken for 1 hour? 3,600 notings. Within that 3,600 notings, did you have craving? No. For that 3,600 seconds, you didn't have craving within you. Craving is the root for every other evil in this world. So for that whole hour, you have not created karma. You have not created a next life. So this is the important thing that you should learn in meditation. When you sit down for meditation, if you can take a noting, every second, that's very beneficial. That will reduce your samsara in an unimaginable way. If you go to samatha, if you are in jhana, you don't have to worry about noting even. You have only one-pointness and equanimity. So please try, not just come and listen to these things. Please sit down and practice anapanasati. Knowing that, yesterday when I was talking, an Indian man, he was a Brahmin. He was asking, Bhante, when I sit down, my mind goes away. That's a common problem, yeah? Huh? Yeah, mind is not designed to stay with you. Because it's not staying at one place, we are going through all these problems. We are going through suffering in samsara because it doesn't stay at one place. Our mind. So, but we are making an effort to bring it back to ourselves. But if you know that your mind is not at one place, isn't that awareness? Aren't you doing a meditation there? Yeah, that is called vipassana. But our effort should go ahead of thinking that awareness and come to a place where you will take everything back to this one point and be concentrated. So you will not create craving. Through craving, you will not create anything else. Do you understand my point? How many points that I have talked now? No. Yes. 6, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm missing out one. So the seventh one, Venerable Anuruddha thought this Dhamma is for the wise, not for the foolish. When he thought, why did he think like that? No, he is still foolish. Huh? he, up to his seventh thought, he was still foolish.
But
Yeah.
you don't need, why should you don't need?
Yeah. No, wisdom in Buddhism, what is wisdom?
Liberation.
Yeah. In general terms, Buddhism only appeals to an intellectual mind. Okay, even in the West, people, especially Sri Lankans, talk about saving Buddhism for future generations. But in United Kingdom, they have a special task force to find out why people turn into Buddhism. But still, a lot of people convert into Islam. But the second highest conversion rate is into Buddhism. But all those people who are converting to Buddhism, because they have an intellectual mind, it appeals to the intellectual mind. So we have to have a certain amount of wisdom within us to comprehend this Dhamma, to understand this Dhamma. That's why he thinks if foolish man can never understand this Dhamma. I'm coming from Sri Lanka. I have been to all the Theravada worlds, Thailand, Myanmar, and every other world, and every other places that is considered Theravada Buddhism. You know, we have a lot of people, even in Sri Lanka, who doesn't take use of this Dhamma. Yeah, we have a lot of people. I go to Bodh Gaya. Look at the amount of beggars around that place. They are sitting at the place of Buddha's enlightenment. Can they can they understand Dhamma? Can they realize Dhamma? Do they want to see Dhamma? No. So we have to have some kind of wisdom within us. We have to have some inherent wisdom to understand this Dhamma. If you don't have that, you have to create that for yourself. You have to pay attention and try to find out what is this Dhamma. But in a deeper level, but Buddha is mentioning as wisdom here, is to see the arising and changing and passing away nature of mind and matter. So what is wisdom in Buddhism? To realize arising, changing and passing away of mind and matter. Nama, Rupa, Dhamma, Upada, Titi, Bhanga in Pali. Through this only we will realize the Four Noble Truths. So when he had these 7 thoughts, Buddha saw that from afar. He came to Anuruddha because he knew Anuruddha is not doing fine. But suddenly he got this great idea. Buddha came and told Anuruddha, okay, now you are in the right path. Now you are in the right path, but you need one more thought. You need one more thought. I will give that thought for you. You also should think this Dhamma is for the person who doesn't dwell. This is called Nipapancha. Nipapancha. If you see 4 translations, you have 4 meanings for that. Because it's very difficult to translate from a mundane level. From an unenlightened person cannot understand this concept. I am not giving you the teaching, not saying that I am enlightened. Don't take me wrong, because I have gone through all the translations. I have found the right one though. On this topic alone, one has written a thesis. A famous Sri Lankan monk, Venerable Katukurunde Jnanananda Bhante, he has written a book on this concept alone. It's called the difference between concept and reality. All this, his 7 thoughts were related to this world. Don't you think? But he need to jump into the Lokuttara, the supramundane level. So Buddha told Anuruddha, if you think that this Dhamma is for the one who truly wants to realize Nibbana, which is to understand the concept to understand the difference between concept and reality, this Dhamma is for that person. One translation goes as to see, not to objectify. Not to objectify. What do you mean by objectifying things? No, you don't grasp things, you don't make objects out of your mind, We cannot objectify everything. There is a supramundane level that we call the enlightenment. So this is the place where your worldly thoughts change into supramundane level. So with that thought, Anuruddha Bhante realized something. Within that range, he attained enlightenment. Okay, do you think these teachings are important? Yeah, okay. But I'm not happy with the response. Okay. Okay, no. Then what Buddha told, if you think like this, if you contemplate on these 8 thoughts on a daily basis, it will be easy for you to go to jhana. This is the teaching on that sutta. It will be easy for you to go to a meditative absorption. Through that meditative absorption, he told Anuruddha, whatever the little food you get in your daily alms around, you will consider that something very valuable. You will find it rich, the little thing that you get, because you are happy with whatever the little thing that you have, and you will contemplate on it like that. Whatever the robe that you are wearing, let it be made from scraps, but you will find it as a king's robe, something like that. If you dwell on these 8 thoughts of a great man, you can have good meditation. Through that good meditation, you can live a life happily in Dhamma. Okay, so this is also translated as 8 steps towards realizing to be in Dhamma, to behave in Dhamma. This is a guideline how you have to have your mind set upon realizing Dhamma. If you don't have this mindset, you are not in the proper framework of a spiritual personality person. Okay, shall we conclude? Questions and answers? No questions only, I will be giving the answer. Yes, Pekka?
Yes, Bhante, maybe you can actually explain something to me. My Pali is really not that good, but am I right to understand that Sampajana is clear awareness?
Yes, clear
awareness.
Okay,
so can you explain to me what's the difference between Vipassana and Sampajana?
Okay. Vipassana and Sampajana. There is Sati, Sampajanya. Sati is putting your attention into one pointedness. Maintaining that one pointedness throughout is Sati Sampajanya. Clear comprehension. Okay. Now when it comes to Vipassana Sampajanya is something different. Vipassana, actually, Sampajanya cannot also be applied to Vipassana meditation. Whatever the thought you are concentrated in, if you can maintain throughout, it is Sati Sampajanya. Do you understand, Ayupeka? Yeah, that's how it's easily translated, because people can come to one pointness and keep their vitakka vichara on one object, but sometimes they fail to maintain it that way. To have Sati Sampajanya is to maintain your concentration throughout to that particular object is called as clear comprehension, Sati Sampajanya.
Okay, because from the teachings of the Samatha teachings, there is this something which is similar to what you have explained as Vipassana, which is being clearly aware of the thoughts that's arising and not getting attached to that, just clearly aware and dropping it. So I was just a bit confused as to what those Vipassana teachings is about, because from my understanding, I read about Vipassana and to me it seems like Sampajana in the Samatha meditation.
The Vipassana hardly talks about Sampajanya in that way, because the idea of whole Vipassana is any object that you perceive, you realize, you receive from the 4 places in your body. Momentarily, you see them arising, you see them changing and passing away. Even if they are not passing away, you have to think like that they are passing away, because actually they are passing away. But in Samatha, when you do Samatha, you dissolve into ultimate reality. In monks in Pawak Monastery, they teach you to see how to see mind and matter breaking. It will appear in front of your eyes in colors how mind and matter breaks. But in Vipassana, we take the mind and matter like this. If you are concentrating on your breath, the nose and the breath belongs to the matter. Don't you think it's materiality? The feeling that comes to your mind belongs to the mind. So you understand breaking of mind and materiality through that way in Vipassana. But if you sit down for Samatha, you will truly see breaking particles of mind and matter inside your head. Sati Sampajanya can be explained in that way. Each and every object you take inside your mind, you have to see without failure of their dissolvement. You have to see their dissolution. Do you get that? Any other question, please? A question from Indonesia, maybe? Yes? Yeah, this is from the Anguttara Nikaya, the group of 8, Attaka Nipata Pali. In Sri Lankan Tipitaka it goes as Anuruddha Sutta. In Bhikkhu Bodhi's book it goes as the thoughts of a great man. In certain places it goes at Maha Purusa Vitakka, 8 thoughts of a man, 8 great thoughts of a man. Some place it goes as thoughts of a great man, not great thoughts of a man. Okay.
Just the observation, Bhante, the last 3
Yeah.
experiments that spoke about,
Yeah.
also directed from the Eightfold Path.
Yes.
Right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration.
Yes. Right effort, right mindfulness, and I'm sorry, I'm finding it a bit difficult. Yeah. Yes. It's from the Eightfold Path.
That was correct anyway.
Yes.
At
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah, at that time. But if you go through the other 3 links also, being frugal, being happy, you can connect them to the other parts of the Eightfold Noble Path. But you have to sit down and sketch it. How does these 8 teachings relate to Eightfold Noble Path? You can map it. But you have to sit down and think.
So that shows that Bhante was really going into deep contemplation or
Yeah. All that time he was thinking about his worldly pleasures. Then suddenly he realized, no, it's not going to work that way unless I am really happy with what I have. So Buddha came and confirmed that. It's good, Anuruddha, you have this kind of thoughts. These are the real great thoughts of a spiritual person. If you think like that, you will go into good jhana. When you go into good meditation, when you have good concentration, whatever comes your way, your 4 requisites that are earned in a very poor way will look like a royal, look like something royal for you.
So to the last factor that Buddha spoke about,
Yes.
supramundane,
Yeah.
is that obtained via meditation?
It's obtained through meditation, but Venerable Anuruddha didn't have an idea about it. He only had 7 thoughts. He failed to see a supramundane quality in him. So Buddha added the most important part. He told, you have to think like this. All of us should think that there will be a turning point in our life where we will reach supramundane attainment. Yeah. All other seven limbs are related to this world within our reach. Also, don't forget, before getting enlightenment, Venerable Anuruddha had the divine eye. He was the foremost of able to see all 10,000 worlds. This was even before getting enlightened. So after Buddha's demise, they were crying together. No, he was not crying. Venerable Ananda was crying, and Venerable Anuruddha was looking at where Buddha's chitta dissolves into. He followed, he couldn't find it.
Just before he went into this meditation state, before he hit the enlightenment, Venerable Sariputta told him that you have conceit in you, you have
Yes.
let go of those
Yes, Venerable Anuruddha, although Venerable Anuruddha got ordained with other 5 Sakyan clan, including Upali, the barber, Venerable Anuruddha found a bit difficult to attain enlightenment due to few things. If you want to read about this, this is explained in the Great Disciples of Lord Buddha by Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi, Jnanamoli, and there's another German name. In that book, this is explained. Nyanaponika, Bhikkhu Bodhi, and a layperson. Anyway, there's only book like that, one book, so we'll find it easily. In that, this is explained his struggle for enlightenment. So he had the problems with the nimitta, from the light he's perceiving during his meditation. So Venerable Sariputta explained, the problem with you is not the light, but you still have your ego. You let go of your ego that there is a person perceiving all these things. But still he was not enlightened until this teaching came to him. After this teaching, during that Vasa time, he got enlightened. Yes?
How do you separate the mythical part in Buddhism and the factual parts?
Yes. We have 2 types of teachings in Buddhism. In Abhidhamma, this is explained. The Sammuti Satcha. Sammuti Satcha means the conceptual reality. We all live in a conceptual level, we have concepts. This is a cup. This is, I don't know what this is. This is a cup. This is a bottle. You are a human being. I am a human being. This is all our concepts. But when you go to the realistic teachings, we call it the Paramattha Satcha. There are only 4. Paramattha Satcha, there are only 4 realities taught by Buddha. One is Chitta, your mind. Cetasika, Rupa, Nibbana. Chitta is mind. Cetasika is mind formations. Rupa is the materiality part, mainly the 4 great materiality part, the Apo, Tejo, Vayo, Patavi. And Nibbana is the final component, which is the realistic teaching of Buddha. If you want to study Abhidhamma, it's available in Dhammasangani. We have 7 books in Abhidhamma Pitaka. The first book totally devotes to this, teaching you the concept and reality. Buddha says, if you finish studying this book alone, you can consider yourself as a small Sotapanna, Chulla Sotapanna. You don't have to meditate. But if you study this book, you can consider yourself as a Chulla Sotapanna, a small Sotapanna person. So
Bhante,
shall we study it? Yeah.
Bhante, before you go on, I just hope that I can make a small point here.
Yeah, please.
That I truly believe that we don't have to go through the Abhidhamma to get into Samadhi.
Yeah.
Thank
No.
you.
Yeah, that is a very important thing. You don't have to go through all these teachings to go into Samadhi. You don't have to have this, but you have to have some guiding towards how to reach Samadhi. Abhidhamma is like a bunch of, it's just, it's like a syllabus where you can study all your life. Then you will be devoted to studying that. You will never meditate. Honestly, that is my idea about Abhidhamma. But if you know Abhidhamma, well, for example, as a monk, you come with your meditation problem. To understand the problem, to go into deep concepts of Buddhism, it's important that you have some knowledge about Abhidhamma to explain. If somebody asks about Kamma, there is no other way other than pointing out from Abhidhamma. How does Kamma work? How does our rebirth happen? How does our last Chitta goes from body and take implants into a new cell? You cannot explain from Sutta. For that you have to study Abhidhamma.
That wasn't written at the time of the Buddha. I mean, you're using something that's written later.
Yeah, this is again another controversy.
Useful tool, but
Yeah.
it isn't.
Yeah. Now if I start this, we will be fighting and all our good. Yeah.
No.
Yes. It's up to you. No. It's a personal thing. I'm not enforcing anybody to study Abhidhamma. Please don't take me wrong. But for the person who you should be criticizing something, you should have a critical point of view of something after you have studied it thoroughly. a person can easily say that is not useful, you cannot use it. But have you personally gone through each and word and each punctuation mark of the Abhidhamma? No. But you...
Spend our time meditating.
Yeah. Your preference is very good. I promote that. I appreciate that. I give you full 5 marks, not 100%. Nothing wrong with that. But if you are criticizing Abhidhamma Pitaka in that way, I expect you to read thoroughly and understand it thoroughly, and you have to show, oh Bhante, this is the point where it goes wrong. But you are listening to some other monk, listening to somebody else and say, oh, Abhidhamma Pitaka is useless. No, there's no time for this. That's wrong. If you want to have a critical point of view on anything, please study it thoroughly. The same thing happened to me. When I was at PAOK, I was trying to get a book from the shelf, and it was Osho. I said, no, I'm not going to read Osho. That's bullshit. And the librarian monk said, how can you say about that? You have not read Osho. Then I was reading that. I still cherish him as a good, philosopher. I like him. But if I kept the book, at that point, I should have not learned many things that I should have learned from Osho. Yes?
I didn't say it was bullshit.
Yeah.
Buddha's time, these discussions came, that is the way, this is the way.
Yeah.
Buddha said that is also right, this is also
Yeah.
right.
I'm not saying
I'm also saying like that. That is also right. This is also right. Okay.
It's time.
Oh, it's time. Oh, I'm sorry. Ayupeka is hungry. Okay. Let's go. Okay.
I'm very
Okay.
practical. When I'm
Yeah.
hungry, I need to eat.